From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher, and their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher, and our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Scripchuk. Their mission: to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Dominating with Dawson.
I heard there was an unidentified flying object seen somewhere near Chapel Hill. I believe it was just
What could that be?
Ben Dawson showing off.
I don't know. It sounds like a conspiracy theory to me.
Very well.
What's
But
going on here?
regardless, we have you here, Ben.
All right.
We have
What do
some
we got?
jargon with some follow-up. You ready for
Okay.
jargon? Jargon day?
I am.
All
I
right.
am ready.
This one is jargon for 200, Ben.
Okay.
All right, you ready, Ben? Body
Hit me.
roll or roll? What is it? And is the impact good or bad? Good and bad.
Body roll is when you go into a corner and the more loaded side. So say if you're going into a left-hand corner, if you're turning left, the right side is going to be more loaded because that's the side that gets kind of pulled down more to the ground. Does that make sense? So your body roll, the car, they say body roll, but it's usually more parts of the car than just the body rolling. But it's when the car sways to one corner. One corner kind of goes down as you go into a corner. So the more loaded up corner goes down and the other side kind of floats up. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like in
kind of.
the Miata, your car kind of leans to the outside,
Okay.
right? You felt that versus
Yes.
the E36 race car we had was kind of level.
Okay.
Yeah, if it stays flat through the corners, it doesn't have much body roll. If you're driving, a 1975 Eldorado, that thing is going to roll if you throw it hard into a corner. Like the nose is going to pitch down into the end of the corner, and the opposite rear corner is going to come way up. It's you'll see it magnified in older, bigger cars. Does that make sense?
Yes. So is that a bad thing?
Well, it's a great question. Yeah. So that's the other part of the question: good or bad? It's inherent to four-wheel vehicles, so it is a thing that happens, and you do want to minimize it if you're trying to drive quickly. So for race cars, it's not good. So we want to. But that's why we have anti-roll bars. Those are the sway bars. Is that the same thing? Is that what they're both called?
Yeah,
also
they're
call it sway bar and
one's what it
anti-body
should
roll
be
kind of
called,
device.
and one's what it shouldn't be called, but they're both used interchangeably.
Right. So anti-roll bars limit body roll. Most commonly you hear them called sway bars, but they're also trying to limit the sway. The sway is the same thing as the roll, and you're trying to limit it. You use a sway bar to tie the two sides of the front together and the two sides of the rear together. And usually the ones that come stock on your car, not that serious. They kind of limit travel a little bit. But if you get ones for race cars, they're usually thicker, stiffer. Often they're adjustable, so they have different holes in the end so that you can adjust them stiffer or softer. Bill's doing a thickness thing, so sometimes they're very thick, sometimes they're tubular or solid. There are different options out there.
So
Fun motion.
So Jen, when we were at our last race at New Jersey, we had the one and a roll bar in the back. On Saturday, I believe, we sheared off one of the mounting bolts. So if you noticed when you were driving, the car was different left to right turn because the one side was somewhat affected by the sway bar and the other side was not affected at all. Did you feel that at all?
Well, was the muffler that fell off or the?
Oh, we dropped
exhaust?
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that was a bit more distracting.
Oh,
Didn't notice the sway bar so much.
Well, if you're going to be picky about it, Jen.
The noise from the other thing, yeah, noticed a lot. But
Didn't
I'm
pick up
sure
on
if
the
I'd
other
have
thing
stayed
that
in
was.
long enough, I'd have noticed it.
Okay. All right. So Ben, it's kind of an unavoidable thing, but good, bad, helpful.
The sway?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's not ideal for being fast on the racetrack. So that's why we try to limit and mitigate it with different devices. So you want to have as little roll or sway as possible. Will help you be faster and keep your tires on the ground, making the most traction.
Mm-hmm. So you'll notice like some of the cars that we race with, they'll tilt a lot in the turns, especially the old ones. Like when Amanda's car was going around, a 38 Buick that weighs about, I don't know, 45 tons.
That was so cool.
it kind of had a lot of lean, and then you'll notice some of the more sporty, racier cars, they tend to stay flatter in the turns, left to right, and front to back too. It does affect dive, and what would that be? Dive and pitch, I guess. I don't know. But whether the nose dive forward when you're braking or rocks back when you're accelerating, those are things that you kind of want to minimize. And a lot of people think, sometimes falsely, that the way to do that is to have everything really, really stiff. But if you have things too stiff, then your tires, instead of absorbing in the suspension, instead of absorbing the undulations in the track and the curbing, they'll bounce. And I don't know if you realize this, but when your tires are in the air, the traction is less than when the tires are on the ground. I mean, generally.
But is that as fun?
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. Duke, but Bo, you got to be on the ground sometime.
What I'm asking is, why do you hate freedom? Why do you have to kill all the fun, huh?
I didn't kill all the fun. I just said sometimes.
All right. I'll keep my tires on the ground every once in a while. Try to make a lap time.
I know. Well, we're not all front wheel drive three wheel turners, so you know. So sometimes you can actually make things too stiff, and sometimes you'll actually have a problem with restricting the suspension's ability to absorb the bump or the undulation.
Maybe bind it up.
Right.
You can get things too much in a bind. That's a fact.
Yeah. Or the other thing that I think about that would be a problem is if you actually bottom out, because then all kinds of things get funky, and then your suspension is not really able to suspend anymore, and it's more of a hard stop, and that can upset the car, especially if it's at an inconvenient moment while turning. That could be ugly. So is it impact good or bad? It's kind of a physics thing. You can't really eliminate it totally, but it's something you need to learn to manage. And
it's something you're going to have, just like any other human condition, like breathing. I got to keep breathing. Got to have body roll.
That's right. Just keep swimming. Does that make sense?
Got it.
Does make sense.
Does make sense.
Okay. Jargon 201. We did it. Thank you, Ben.
All right.